Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the sidebar. Right now, we're joined by Rosie Mastrandrea.
Mastrandrea.
Oh, I was so close, and then I
So,
fumbled it. Senior Director of Sustainability Product Marketing at Microsoft. Rosie, thanks for joining us.
yeah, you bet.
So, when you spoke to us at Verge back in October, you touched on the importance of leveraging data to unlock sustainability insights. Can you start by sharing a bit more on how the data comes into play for organizations looking to address sustainability across their whole value chain?
Yeah, absolutely. And Verge was a pleasure. So it's great to be here today. Um, you know, Data is really the heart of sustainability, and all organizations are at different places along their journey in terms of bringing data together. And we've really noticed in working with customers that it's really key to be bringing it all into one place. And so for a lot of people, this means creating an ESG data estate and bringing together your data across environmental, social, and governance. And right now, a lot of people are working on scope one and scope two, but it's really when we get to the scope three data that you start to see that interconnection across all of us, because no one organization can be successful or meet their goals alone. We're all interconnected. So, one organization's scope one and two could be another organization's scope three. And so, really getting to a common data model where all the data can reside, and then being able to connect in third-party data sources. So look at electric data, water, utilities, those types of things. It creates so much more scale with the ecosystem, and then everybody benefits. And when you have that scale and you get more automation, it frees up people's time. They can make more progress, and you can get to more of the insights and the learnings, sharing across as well. And so that's one of the big area of focuses for us at Microsoft is how do we leverage the ecosystem that we have already built and then leverage the technology as well so that we can all make more progress and faster progress on our goals.
Yeah, I spent a bunch of years as a corporate sustainability practitioner, so I know all about the the struggles of just managing data.
Yeah.
So speaking of that data, what does it mean to leverage data in the context of upcoming regulations, things like in the EU, the CSRD? I can never remember what that acronym means, so if you can, that'd be great for our audience. And what are some of the implications of how it will impact data management within organizations?
Yeah, CSRD, certainly. We can talk about a bit. I know this week a lot of talk about the SEC, but, lots of countries are creating these regulations. And so for global entities, it's not just one set of regulations or rules, there's multiple at play here. So with CSRD in particular, this is a lot of talk in Europe coming out of the EU. But it actually affects global companies too when they have a footprint in the EU. And so one of the things that this is really doing is expanding the scope of the data that we're talking about and the data that you manage. And so there's over 1,000 data points to be collected across E, S, and G. And so it might seem a little overwhelming, but it's also kind of exciting when you think about the impact and the priority that's put on the S and the G as well,
Yeah.
in the progress that we're looking to make. One of the other changes that comes with CSRD and could be coming with other regulations as well is coming down in size. So more medium-sized companies will be impacted by this. And so when you look at medium-sized companies, smaller businesses, you really have to have different solutions that are simple, that they're easy. And so it's not the big data estate, it's the how do you, bring the data together in a simple, scalable way so that then they can report out and make progress on their goals as well.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Actually, before coming to GreenBiz, I worked at smaller companies and it's really hard when you don't have the capacity to be able to process all of this.
Yeah.
So, one last closing question for you is can you share just a little bit more on what's possible when organizations have built the foundation of their ESG data? What does that enable?
Yeah, this is when it gets exciting. This is when technology really shines. So you can bring in AI and analytics and really start to get to the insights of what's possible, what you can do, looking at things like what if analysis so that you can make decisions on your portfolio and where you spend your money and what kind of returns you get. So there's a lot of that comes into play. But then there's also this opportunity for transformation. And so what we're seeing is that people are starting to look at the unique assets of their corporations and how can they utilize those differently to not just help meet their goals and others' goals, but to create new lines of business. And so we're seeing this business model transformation to help them grow businesses and create new businesses. And then also, that's where you see not just the business model transformation, but you see an ability to have the growth and meet your goals at the same time.
Yeah, super exciting stuff. Well, we are out of time. Rosie, thanks for joining us at the sidebar and enjoy Green Biz 23.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Have a good one.